there has clearly been a change in attitude towards music nowadays. Like being and that whole fan thing, that whole love of the artist.
I think a couple of things possibly. One is the internet, and there's less money for record companies to promote artists. So where they would take a gamble and spend a lot of money on a band that they signed, and like now, if the bands don't sell a certain amount, they don't get options to release a second, and it's very hard for artists these days. I think there's plenty of people like me who love music, and I connect with them on social media, and it's great. I like so many different bands, so I've got so many different.
But is that, you think maybe that's a generational thing? Maybe
I think it's definitely a generational thing. Yeah. I think also with the introduction of downloads as well. I'm old school. I like things physical. There we go, Bob Marley cassette. So they're coming back in as well. So I like something physical in my hand. I don't want to get the download. But
then they get chewed up. Then the tapes get chewed up in the
still stand
tape
great.
player.
And where you got the artwork, you got the lyrics. You can see who wrote and produced it. If you're interested in that kind of thing. Whereas a download, you get it on your phone or whatever, and a computer, and you can still see it in the artwork. But I actually like to have physically something in my hand, and it's definitely a generational thing. Also with the different genres which are more popular, and a lot of the stuff on the radio still sounds the same. It's not my thing, because there's plenty of good. We'll probably talk about later. Plenty of really, really great unsigned bands out around everywhere, all over the world, not just London.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, they can't all be heard. That's the.
No.
I mean, back in the day, you only got the best bands that would come out. You'd see them play and whatever. A lot of bands would die, the death very quickly. From a few gigs, they wouldn't survive. But now, because you can put music out, people hear the music, they like the music, but then they got, they can play the music, but they can't actually perform very well. So now they've got to then become the performance. And how does that work out? Are you going to be able to carry your band out onto the live and do whatever? So there's lots of people can make music, but can you perform it? Can you be a star?
That's why I love going to live gigs, because I think it.
I think they're seasoned. They're ready. They're ready to go. They know what they're doing.
And I can usually tell without sounding arrogant when someone's got it or not. You just immediately just get my interest by how they sing or how they perform, or such a good point. I think it's really important. And to say that lots of people can have their home studios and make a great album or be a studio band who's actually performing in front of a live audience, inspiring the fans and people to go and buy the music and follow the bands, and and I think it's really a big part of the music industry is actually performance.
Of course, yeah. Not for your heart, that doesn't go out as well when you perform. Anyway, my last question that I've written down, the rest obviously might come to mind. My favourite artists tend to have something more than just great music. I believe they have to be great people with big hearts. I'm fortunate enough to know my musical heroes, the likes of Lee John, Peter Straker, and I even got to meet Freddie McGregor in New York. Has any of your musical heroes, let's say, been less accommodating than the ones I mentioned?
Yeah. Only one, actually. I'm kind of very lucky. I always happen to be at the right place at the right time, or I'll wait, sound check or something if I really want to meet a musician. So I'll be honest with you. Most of the heroes that I've met have been wonderful. I've met Grace Jones many times. She's absolutely wonderful. Nothing like the persona she wants to give out. Adam Ant, again, I've met him many times. Lovely guy. And it's really great when you meet your musical heroes, inspiration, Dave Stewart. And then when you meet someone who's not a nice person, from what you can gather, it's a real disappointment. And one particular artist, I don't listen to his music anymore. So I just didn't think he was a very nice person, and didn't like the way he treated certain people. And I just thought, what? There's plenty of other musicians, music I can get inspired to, and it does kind of put you off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. I mean, I met Debbie Harry in America, and she was not very, forthcoming. And I thought, oh, okay, Debbie Harry, okay, that's a bit one. It's one of those things. I just stuck with me.
I thought she would be nice. Maybe
I
you got a real bad day.
No, I just was like, look, how can I take a picture of you? I just wanted to put it up on Facebook, and it was like I didn't say who I was and what I was doing, whatever person I was there doing stuff in New York myself. But she just was like, who are you, kind of thing. I was like, okay, no worries. Yeah. It's life.
Because at the end of the day, you got to remember they're human beings, and
yeah. And
a lot of artists have
stuff,
mental issues as well, or the stress of if they're successful. You know, it's not an easy life. It looks really glamorous and stuff.
It's a lot to ask to be that famous and not expect people not to.
But
approach you.
Annie Lennox is another one. She's a very private lady, and I've seen her many times. Sometimes she's friendly, sometimes, I mean, I don't even bother asking her for a photo. And then I see that she does. It probably depends on their mood. If they're having a good day, it doesn't give someone a right to be rude to a fan or someone approaching them. But you know, if they have a long day and someone approaches someone like me, hi, and they're not in the mood, then of course they have the right to say no. But you're right. Once they put themselves in the public forum, you know, there is a way to interact with your fans.
Yeah, it's like they need you when they need you, but they don't need you when they don't need you.
But not all artists are like that.
No.
The ones I've met, I'm sure like you have too, they've been all great. I've been very lucky. You know.
No. I mean, obviously, but it means a lot to me to have that connection. I remember when I watched John Lennon once, or the Beatles. It was a long time ago. I watched a video on them. I was like, at a really cool party, and we were watching these like old retro films, and then John Lennon was, I think, I don't know what event, it was a big festival or something happened, and a fan was around the house. That's it. A fan was kind of like lurking around the house. He approached John Lennon, and he was like, you know, what were you saying to him? He was like, oh, you know, you wrote the song for me. And John Lennon was like, really, no. And he kind of went into, he was upset, but he just told him another story. You know, and it was like, I would have said to the guy, look, yeah, man, yeah, I wrote it for everyone. You know, my songs are for everybody. And I would have just made him feel special. He's been out there, you know, he's camping out. And I thought, dude, man, come on, you could have got to understand.
Yeah, but then you're thinking, with
the
that level of fame and, you know,
but
you had artists like George Michael,
but
people
could have
in his home.
mental health issues. You know?
Well, yeah. You got to be careful. There's been, like, particularly like Adam Ant, he's had really bad stalkers back in the day, and one resurfaced maybe not that recently, and you know, it's scary because they want to have a private life, don't they?
I've never been that famous. I don't know what it's like. So you know, I'm sorry, superstars. I don't really understand. It's part. I think it's part of the job. You know, you get your money, you do your time. So. And I know there's loads of artists that love it. I mean, I know Lee John.
Yeah, of course they do.
He treats, and Peter Straker, they treat. You know, that's why I have a real love for them. Is because they treat people like people. Do you know anything about Peter Straker?
Other than was he from the theatre world? He's done theatre and acting, and also he was a good friend of the legendary Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he made 2 albums for him. So
wow,
he made
Imagine
Freddie Mercury made 2 albums for Peter Straker.
Did he really?
Can you imagine
that?
I mean, that just tells you a little bit about the relationship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you know, because I know for me to make 2 albums for a mate, it's going to take a lot of work for me. Huh?
What did he think of the film? Did he like it?
You have to ask him that yourself.
Okay, very diplomatic.
But anyway, so current bands, new bands, because obviously you know a lot about what's going on. You're not just about the 80s. We came here. I came here to quiz your mind about the 80s because I love that era, and I'm sure people will want to talk about you and talk about the 80s with you and ask you more about these bands and stuff, and maybe ask you what posters or records you've got. You know. You've got an incredible library of records.
I do.
But in terms of modern day music, I mean, I don't listen to a lot of the new stuff personally. I mean, I just don't. I mean,
well, it's very easy not to.
I listen to the radio.
I
don't listen to the radio.
There's
I don't know
any music, TV programs. Hopefully, I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman called Chris Cowie, who's behind the Tube in the 80s. Remember that program with Jules Holland and Paulie Yates? That was amazing. Had all the great 80s bands playing actually live rather than recorded music. So I go out to lots of gigs. I try and go to like 2 or 3 a week. Not big artists who I really love, like Chic and Dan Network and Living Colour next week, and Skunk Anansi and Lenny Kravitz. But there's this guy he's called She Made Me Do It. His name's Will Crewston. So he currently plays guitar for Adam Ant. He's an amazing guitarist. He was in a band called Rachel Stamp, and I met him back in the day 20 something years ago when I worked for Dave Stewart's briefly publishing label.